Hey people, Fernando doing another video for the More Survivalist channel, and the lesson today is even if you're young, super famous, super wealthy, middleweight champion of the world, you still have, or former middleweight champion of the world, you still have to be careful not to run your mouth in anger. Folks, this is the story of Canelo Alvarez. You probably know who Canelo Alvarez is if you follow boxing at all. You probably don't know much about the FIFA World Cup. If you're American, it's not a big deal in US for most people, even though yesterday US had a great match against Iran, which they won. And not only that, interestingly enough, Iranians were celebrating the defeat of their own national team because of the political conflict that they have and the national team backing the regime. So people were celebrating a US win in Iran. You know, I probably should do a video about that later. It's actually quite cool. Anyway, so the story goes this way. So in the locker room, when you have a team that just won a big match like this, they're all very happy, of course, jumping around, celebrating. Everyone's super happy. And as you see, there's a bunch of stuff, gear on the floor. And you have a basket where probably most of the shirts and equipment goes into, but most of it just gets dropped on the floor and it gets washed later. You know, anything you want washed, you just drop on the floor. You know, the crew comes back, picks it up, washes it. And even here, you see, that's the Argentine goalkeeper. He's jumping on the table on top of a pile of Argentine shirts. He obviously does not care at all. It's not considered an insult to the national team to jump on top of the jersey because it's not a flag. It's not considered an insult, especially when it's all sweaty stuff that needs to get washed. Now here you have Lionel Messi himself. He's not wearing his jersey because his own jersey got exchanged with the captain of the Mexican team, who obviously has a huge amount of respect for. So he probably asked, hey, Leo, can we change shirts? Yes, and here he has the Mexican shirt that he dropped on the floor because it's not his own. It's completely sweaty and it needs to get washed. That's what they always end up doing. So as he sits down, but yeah, you see shirts there. These are all Argentine jerseys. Some of them, if you just don't want to wash it, you keep it in with your own gear and you don't wash it. But as he's unstrapping his boots, he does this. He unstraps his boot, and as he's kicking them off, he touches with the tip of the toe the Mexican jersey, which is nothing. It's not a big deal. But Canelo Alvarez, angry about losing, had this so unfortunate reaction, which is... Where is it? Where is the reaction from Canelo Alvarez in a tweet that he's probably regretting till this day? Did you guys see Messi cleaning the floor with our jersey and flag? Alvarez tweeted, he better pray to God that I don't find him. Just like I respect Argentina, he has to respect Mexico. Not only that, when people told him, no, dude, you got it wrong. That's what happens in a locker room. It doesn't matter. Everything, even their own shirts get dropped on the floor, jumped on, and it's not a big deal. And he kept at it. I'm not talking about the country as a whole, just about the bullshit that Messi did. And, you know, to make things even worse for Canelo Alvarez, here's the guy that actually gave him the shirt of the, you know, all drama, of the entire drama. This is the captain of the Mexican team, and this is what he explains.
Mexican captain Andres Guardado said, I know what kind of person Messi is. And everything.
That's the guy that gave him his shirt. That's Messi. That's his son, the guy from Mexico.
Gets left on the floor in the dressing room.
Took a picture
Canelo
with him.
Doesn't know what dressing room look like. It's silly because the shirt was mine and I exchanged with Leo.
So it was his shirt, and he just says that no, you're a boxer, but you don't understand what happens in a dressing room from a football team. So yeah, and things just kept on getting worse for Canelo Alvarez. And let me make this super clear. Canelo Alvarez will be just fine. He is a multi-millionaire, super famous, but he's just not as famous as Messi. This is Saul Alvarez. This is Canelo Alvarez followers, 14 million followers. Lionel Messi has 380 million followers. He's probably one of the most famous people on the planet. Maybe Ronaldo is right there, but for something like this, he is considered one of the nicest people in the entire, you know, sport industry. So it was super unfortunate. I don't know if this is real or not. Someone named Canelo threatened Messi, if he just touch Messi, I have to get back to the ring and in a few years. This is Mike Tyson. I don't know if this is real or not, because that's not his official account, even though not the official account of his, but where is that? That's not there it says, with love, to Mike, with love, Diego. That's a Diego Maradona shirt. That's probably worth a lot of money, even for Tyson. But that the picture is real. This, maybe he said it, maybe he didn't. But the piling on Canelo Alvarez is just insane. Anyway, just people making fun of him by all of this, and it's not a big deal, but it kind of is, because in terms of PR, it just looks terribly bad. I mean, the man ends up looking like a fool. He's probably not super brilliant, even though he's a fantastic boxer. But just like he does in the ring, he does outside the ring, which is he doesn't back down. And sometimes there's another lesson there. When you screw up, you should just at least shut your mouth. Don't keep running your mouth when you were wrong. He cannot control himself. He keeps doing this, and he keeps digging a bigger hole for himself. He even does stupid things like this, like replying, son of a bitch. He replies with his own official account by a fake account that this is not Lionel Messi's account. This is just a fake account of someone washing the floor with his shirt. And PR took his phone away, yes, Canelo, just give me the phone just for a second. And he's doing damage control like pure love. Thanks, Canelo, you're my miracle. Doctors Without Borders. It seems silly, but there's no doubt that in terms of his business model, public image, it just took a huge blow. And the more he keeps talking about it, the worse it goes. And you're talking about probably millions and millions of dollars being lost. This is something that you need to learn how to control. In my case, I always, if I'm angry, I try to wait an hour. If an hour is not enough, give it 24 hours, right? Give it a day. Before you make a big decision, before you post something online, even if you're not a super famous, very wealthy person, it's the same. It could one day come back and bite you in the ass. And just because you're a good boxer or a fantastic boxer, it doesn't mean you're all that clever. Obviously, Canelo is not very smart in that way. And this reminds me of another, maybe even greater boxer, like the case of Carlos Monzon. Carlos Monzon was Teddy Atlas's number 2 pound for pound greatest. Carlos Monzon was an animal both inside the ring and unfortunately outside, so much so that he spent the last 13 years of his career undefeated. The man had 100 fights, won 59 of those by knockout, and he only lost 3 fights the first 2 years as a professional boxer. The man was unbeaten, basically, in his serious professional career, but he was a beast outside as well. He got shot by his own wife after beating her up. His own son, this is maybe one of the more telling things. Talking about boxers, people that do deal with violence as a professional career, it doesn't mean that you're a good person. You can be a terrible person like Carlos Monzon was, without any question. As great as he was, maybe the thing that sticks to me the most is that this man, his son, this is Carlos Monzon right there, his son would cry during his fights when he was boxing. His son in the crowd would cry, not because his father was being punched, exchanging blows with another man. He was crying because no one could beat him. And this kid wanted someone to beat his father up, because his father would constantly beat his mother, probably beat him too. He was a brutal, savage man. The only moment he says he was happy was when he was beating someone. That's why he was happy in the ring. Probably why he was so good at it. But that you have your own son crying because he's just hoping and never getting that wish of his, of someone actually putting a beating on you, which he knows you definitely deserve. That is, man, as fantastic as a boxer as you may be, that says a lot about what kind of person you are, right? So, guys, just a few lessons there. Not everything is as it seems, and just be careful and not dig yourself into a big hole by saying something or posting something online that you may one day regret. See you in our next video. Take care.